Hey, hi, hello, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Shannon. How you doing? Nice to meet you. I hope you're doing so very well. Today I am bringing you an unhaul. It is long overdue. I have no more room on my shelves. I need to get rid of some books fast, and I have done that. I went through my shelves. I got parted with some things that have been with me for a while. So without further ado, let's get into the video. I'm not going to talk about synopsis or what the book's about because I'm not interested in them anymore, but I will give a brief reason why, if there is any. Book number one is Heroes of Olympus, The Lost Hero by Rick Riordan. I tried to read the Percy Jackson series. I got to like the third book in and gave up. That was about 7 years ago. I picked this up for a challenge, I believe, of some sort. I think it was a reading challenge that had a dragon on the cover. Um, and that's the only reason why I bought this. And I know that Rick Riordan is extremely loved. And I believe Percy Jackson is middle grade and this is YA. So my chances of liking this 7 years ago compared to the Percy Jackson series were probably higher, but now I just don't have any interest in this, unfortunately. This is part of a series, it's the first book of a series. I'm never going to read this. Next, we have It Only Happens in the Movies by Holly Bourne. I read this, absolutely adored it, gave it 5 stars. I can't remember how long ago that was. I will never reread it. It's done, it's had its time. This had its day. I enjoyed it when I read it. I did give it a 5 stars, but I'm never going to reread it again. And if I did reread it, I probably wouldn't rate it as highly as I did the first time. Next, we have Harley in the Sky by Akemi Don Bowman. I don't know. I don't know about this one. I have heard really good things. I have heard really good things about this one, and my friend really liked it. I just I don't know if I'm gonna reach for this. It's YA. I don't read much YA now, and if I do, it's not this kind of YA. It's normally like fantasy or thriller or mystery or something. I don't even know. Maybe this is even middle grade. I just don't know. The good thing is though is I am unhauling this and giving it to my niece, so she will have it on her shelf. So if I ever do decide I want to pick this up in the future, I know I can just borrow it back from her. The next two books are books I've also read, and they are All the Bright Places and Holding Up the Universe by Jennifer Niven. I read these a while ago and I gave this 5 star and gave this 4 star, I believe. I know that if I went back and read these now, these would not be a 5 and 4 star. I know that these were uh of their time kind of books. I loved this when it came out. It came out and I read it at the exact same time that I needed to read it. Like there was a lot in this, and I was younger. I would probably pick flaws with it now, just like I would probably pick flaws with this now as well. And I'm quite happy to just leave these books rated as they are and never read them again. Because, like, 6, 7 years ago, Shannon really did enjoy these. Next, we have one that I am sad about because it is The Diviners by Liv Bray. I'm never going to continue on. I just, look how floppy. I hate getting rid of floppy covers because they're just amazing. But I did read this, I read this a while back, and the reason that I don't think I'm going to continue is because I did not try to buy the sequel. I did not even try to look for the sequel. Like, I was just like, okay, I'm done. Like, it was nice, it was good, fun. I think I gave it 3 stars. I'm not wanting to continue a series on a 3 stars first book. And also, if I ever did want to read these, I would just buy the Kindle editions so that they're not taking up so much room on my shelves. But I do hate getting rid of these adorably floppy paperbacks. Next is Our Chemical Hearts by Crystal Sutherland. I read this back a while ago and I gave it 3 stars. Never going to reread it. I am reading this author's new work and loving it a lot more than I loved this. Although at the time this was a fine read. If it was 3 stars then, it probably wouldn't be 3 stars now, unless this is a rare occurrence where with adult eyes, I see it differently, but I'm not willing to risk it, so I'm just going to let it go. Next, we have Mirror Mirror by Cara Delevingne and Rowan Coleman. I actually was gifted this because I was a big fan of Cara Delevingne, and my brother seen this in a shop and decided to buy it for me, which I was really thankful for. But that was about 3 or 4 years ago, and I haven't read it yet. And I just don't know if this would be what I want it to be. And now I'm like older and not really into reading famous people books. Like I read Jeanette Murphy's autobiography and I'm interested in Matthew Perry's autobiography, but like fiction written by celebrities I'm just skeptical about, and that's okay. Like there was Model Land by Tyra Banks I had mild interest in at the same time this one came out, and I think that's why this took my interest because I was into Tyra Banks and Cara Delevingne, and I think that's why these took my interest because they both came out at the same time. But yeah, I'm never gonna read this. One that I'm sad about is Mirage by Sonia Dodd. I think that's how you say it. I have had this for a long, long time, and I just have never picked it up. I don't. Why is this? The dust jacket's on the wrong way. Oh, this is a Fairy Loot exclusive, but I did not buy this from Fairy Loot. Interesting. It must have been a while ago. 2018. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. It has a bookmark and everything. Mm, does this make me want to keep it? No. Stick to your choices, Shannon. Okay. This is this is a Fairy Loot book, which I did not know. I mean, it has the sprayed edges, but it's got nothing underneath the dust jacket. Like, but it makes sense because this was released in 2018. I think I must have got this at a charity shop or online of some sort. I have no idea how I actually came across this. Like, there's nothing to even say how I bought this book. And it even came with a bookmark. And it's like, it's signed and everything. I know it's a waste, but I've had it for 5 plus years. I'm never reading it. Next, we have Girlhood by Kat Clark. Already read this. Quite honestly, I forgot I read this. The only reason I know that I read this is because it's marked on Goodreads and has like a tagline of what I thought, and it was mediocre. So mediocre that I've now forgotten that I even own this or that I had even read this, so it has to go. All of these are in a similar vein. They're either read and I'm never going to reread, or I've outgrown, or they're older books that I have never picked up for, like Serious Moonlight by Jen Bennett. I have picked up books from this author before. I've really enjoyed them. I've owned this one as long as I've owned them, and I've never read it, and I have no real interest in reading it, to be honest. It sounds fine, but like I read Starry Eyes and Night Owls, but I unhauled Alex approximately, so I think it's just time for this one to go as well. Next, we have The Sun is Also a Star by Nicola Yoon. I have read this. I did love it. I did enjoy it when I read it. I think I gave it a 4 star. Never going to reread this. YA contemporary. It was good at the time, but I would be more interested in something new instead of rereading this. Also, there's a film, so I could just watch the film if I wanted to re-immerse myself in this world. Again, When We Collided by Emery Lord is another one that I've read, never going to reread, outgrown, blah blah blah. That's a common theme. These are just all the books that I feel like are I'm ready to pass on. I'm never going to reread them. I'm ready for them to leave my life so I can get books that represent who I am as a reader now. Like, for example, Heartless by Marissa Mayer. I bought this when it came out. I really do like this cover, but I am more interested in the Lunar Chronicles than I am in Heartless. So instead of keeping both, I'm going to pass on this and just read the Lunar Chronicles because I think that's more my speed. This does sound good though, and I am going to unhaul it to my niece. So if I enjoy the Lunar Chronicles or anything else by Marissa Mayer, I can easily borrow this copy back. Another 3 books that I am unhauling to my very, very grateful niece. are the Cody Keplinger books I have. So we have Lying Out Loud, A Midsummer Nightmare, and Shut Out. These are all YA contemporary, kind of like, I don't know how to explain them. They're like YA contemporary, like girls just want to have fun. There's normally like some silly thing like Sun, Sex, and Stepbrothers, another sizzling story from Hamilton High, or Cody Keplinger returns to the world of the Duff, which, have you seen the Duff? Because the main actress does this really cringy part that is in the book so fucking well. It's so cringy. It's so bad. Oh my god, I hate it, but I love it because it's so cringe.
Here we go. Yeah. Rub the belly. Oh yeah. You got moves. Oh. Well, no, still worse.
Is that good?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Are you twerking? Woo. Oh. What's that?
Um, yeah. So these I've outgrown, and they're YA. I'm never gonna reread them. I do think that my niece will get some love out of these ones. Next, we have The Kingdom by Jess Rothenberg. I read this, really enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars. I highly recommend, actually. I'm just never going to reread it. Like, this was good for what I wanted it for. I think I used it for a reading challenge or a readathon or something. I read it really quickly and I enjoyed it and I gave it 4 stars. And I still remember this story to this day. But I'm never going to reread it. But I am unhauling it to my niece. So if I do want to reread it, I can just borrow it back. This is a good thing. If my niece becomes a reader, like a reader, it means that I can just unhaul all my maybes to her, and then if I ever need them again, I can steal them back. Kind of cheating, but kind of not. The next 4 books kind of hurt me because they were like an era. Like, this was when I had finished the Shadowhunter series. So I got back into reading by reading the Shadowhunter series. So this was after I had read the Shadowhunter series, but before I had discovered Sarah J. Maas and everything else. So this is my Sarah Dessen collection. We have What Happened to Goodbye, oh, Lock and Key, oh god, Alone for the Ride, and The Truth About Forever. I do own Just Listen, but I'm keeping that one because that's the first Sarah Dessen book I ever read. It's also my favourite Sarah Dessen book I've ever read. Will I ever reread it? I don't know. But that one has emotional value, where these ones I just picked up after having read that one. And they all kind of have emotional value because I picked them up after rediscovering my love of reading again. But I'm never going to reread these ones. I do want to keep Just Listen because that has some nostalgic feelings towards it and it reminds me of a certain time of my life. So I am keeping that one. But I do think my niece will get more love out of these than I will. I think I'm too I think I'm just not in this kind of place where YA contemporary is a genre that I reach for. If I ever really reach for contemporary. The only contemporary I really reach for is romance and mystery thrillers, and that's because spicy murder. I mean, you've got to have something in a contemporary, right? And the last 2 books I have here are Other Breakable Things by Kelly York and Rowan Altwood. Is that the same co-author that helped Cara Delevingne write her book? Well, anyway, I've had this for like forever. I've never read it. I've never even reached for it. I kind of forgot I owned it. Similar to Witch Hunter by Virginia Bowaker. And it says for fans of Sarah J. Maas and Holly Black, and I can see that's maybe why I either picked this up or why I've kept this for so long. But I'm never going to read these 2 books. Like, I kind of forgot I owned them until I raided my shelves. They were kind of hidden behind books, behind books. And yeah, they're not for me. And yeah, they're just not for me, so there is no point keeping these ones. And that is it. I don't know how much books there is. I will leave that number on screen. I am, however, very happy that I have more space on my shelf now. I'm going to try not to fill it with all the books immediately. But yeah, I am glad that I got rid of this um books. I am unhauling some of them to my niece, so if I ever wanted them, I could borrow them back. I am unhauling some of these to charity shops, but the whole process of this is I went to the back oldest crevices of my shelves and got rid of things that I read like 5 to 7 years ago instead of getting rid of obviously my new releases that I actually want to read. I thought I would get rid of some books that I've read and never going to return to, or books that I've just outgrown at this point. So, yeah, I thank you so very much for watching. If you read and enjoyed any of these books, let me know in the comments down below. I hope you have a great day, a great week, a great weekend, whenever the hell you're watching this. Remember to stay safe, happy, and healthy, and I will see you next time. Bye.